The ninth chamber was collapsing. Not slowly, not gently, but like a living creature tearing itself apart in a frenzy. Clara sprinted through the breathing corridors, a pulsating flesh peel from the walls, stretching, tearing, then sealing again like a frantic heartbeat. Every pulse echoed like thunder, shaking the long organic passageway. The air tasted metallic, thick, and humid, as if she were inhaling someone else's breath. The labyrinth was dying, or perhaps, she realized with dread sinking through her bones. It was transforming. Behind her, the echo dragged its writhing, half-formed body across the ground. What once resembled a twisted imitation of a man was now melting into a puddle of trembling flesh, its face shifting between agony and warning. Clara didn't know whether to fear it or pity it. Elias ran beside her, limping heavily, one hand gripping his ribs, the other pressed against the burning sigil carved over his chest, the mark of the ninth door. The symbol glowed brighter with every collapsing moment, throbbing in sync with the labyrinth's final pulses. "We're out of time," Elias gasped, breath uneven. "It's pulling everything inward. The whole realm is folding back into memory." "Memory!" Clara shouted over the roar. "What does that even mean?" "It means—" Elias stumbled, catching himself on the wall of living flesh that squirmed under his touch. "This place doesn't exist the way we think. It's not physical. It's a thought, a dream, a wound, and it's closing." Clara looked ahead. The corridor opened into a colossal chamber, the heart of the labyrinth. A spiraling pit wound downward like the ribs of a titanic beast wrapping around a bottomless maw. And at the center, rising with the slow inevitability of an ancient sun, was the ninth door, a membrane, a pulsating red orb, a living consciousness. The ninth pulse. It beat like a colossal heart, each pulse sending shockwaves through the chamber, reshaping walls, melting floors, and warping the very air. Clara took a step closer, her breath trembling. "It's waking up again." Elias swallowed. "It never slept." "We did." The membrane throbbed once, twice, a deep, resonant vibration that rattled her bones. And then the entire chamber inhaled. A soundless breath, a pulling, a voice, not spoken, not heard, but felt, slid into Clara's skull like a cold hand. "Come home." The echo screamed, a guttural, pleading sound. Its body convulsed violently, skin rippling like boiling oil. It dragged itself toward Clara, reaching out, not to attack, to warn. "It wants us to leave," Clara whispered, horrified. "It knows what comes." "No," Elias said hoarsely. "There is no leaving. Not after seeing this. Once the pulse marks you, it rewrites you. You become a part of it." But Clara shook her head. "I don't believe that. There has to be a way to end this." The ninth door pulsed again. A psychic shockwave ripped through the chamber, knocking both of them to their knees. Clara choked as visions flooded her mind. The asylum, the ritual circles, the screaming patients, the vanished staff, the forbidden experiments. Harrow opening the first door, Elias opening the ninth, Clara disappearing, Clara returning. It all converged into one realization. The labyrinth wasn't built. It wasn't summoned. It wasn't created. It was grown. A single organism. One endless memory. One living nightmare. And Clara, unwilling, unprepared, had been chosen as its center. Pain shot through her skull. She fell backward, clutching her head. "Elias, it's rewriting me." "It's rewriting everything," Elias said weakly. "That's how the ninth door survives. It doesn't open into a place. It opens into the mind." Walls began to melt like wax exposed to fire. Faces, some familiar, some impossibly ancient, pushed through the dissolving flesh, silently screaming before being swallowed again. Clara forced herself up. If we don't stop it, it escapes. It gets out there, into the real world. Elias nodded with grim acceptance. "There's one way. The door is tied to memory. If we destroy the memory core, the door collapses." Before Clara could ask how, the echo crawled closer and spoke in a voice like crushed stone. "Not both. One. Only one may sever memory." Clara froze. "One of us is to stay?" The echo nodded, its body sagging like a dying bee surrendering to inevitability. Elias didn't hesitate. "It's me." Clara grabbed his arm. "No, I won't let you. You don't get it." Elias's eyes were hollow yet determined. "I opened the 9th door. The mark chose me. It won't release me unless I close it myself." The 9th pulse roared, not sound, but pure force. Cracks spread up the walls like fractures through bone. Clara stared at him, tears building. "There's to be another way." "There isn't," Elias whispered. "Clara, I'm already halfway gone." He stepped toward the membrane. The glowing sigil on his chest blazed white-hot, illuminating the chamber like a newborn star. The pulse writhed, screaming in a frequency that made blood drip from Clara's nose. The labyrinth walls folded, bones cracking, flesh tearing. Elias pressed both hands to the living door. He turned once, gave Clara the softest, saddest smile she had ever seen. "Live! Tell the world the truth, before it forgets itself again." The echo wrapped its tendrils around her, dragging her away. Clara cried out, "Elias!" "No." He mouthed one final word. "Remember." The membrane swallowed him whole, and everything collapsed. A storm of white light erupted, dissolving the walls, the pit, the faces, the pulse. The entire realm imploded into itself, crushed into a single point of blinding memory. Then, darkness, silence, nothing. Clara opened her eyes. She lay on the cold stone floor of the ruined asylum. No flesh, no walls, no pulse, no labyrinth, only silence, only dust. The 9th door, now just a cracked archway, stood dead and lifeless. She pushed herself up, trembling. "Elias?" No response. The echo was gone. The world felt too quiet, too real, too normal. Clara staggered outside into the faint gray morning. Birds chirped in a distant tree. Leaves rustled. A car passed on a nearby road like life had never been interrupted. "It's over," she whispered. But then, a faint vibration tickled the base of her skull. A heartbeat. Soft, slow, familiar. Her eyes widened. "No, no, no." A whisper drifted behind her, gentle and human and impossible. "Clara, we're not finished." She spun around. No one there, but on the cracked wall behind her, a faint glowing mark. 3 pulses, a new heartbeat, a new memory, maybe even a new door. Clara stepped back, her breath freezing. The 9th door had closed, but the memory was still alive, and memories always return. End of Season 1.